Well, I don't feel quite as tired as I've been the past couple of streams, but kind of irritated, and I don't know why. It must be it must be caffeine deficiency. I think that's a symptom. It's irritability, and of course, naturally, fatigue. And I'm gonna drink an energy drink tomorrow again anyway. Gotta do it again. You know, making myself so used to all the caffeine, and then I'm gonna do it again. That'll show my body. It's like, hey, you want some caffeine? I'll give you some caffeine. And then ultimately, it's probably not gonna help my productivity as much as I wanted to. And then I'll probably just stop drinking them for a little bit. You know, get unused to the caffeine again. I forgot they call those perilous attacks. Red Rune is just catchier. Oh, go look out for the Red Rune attack. Ah, wow. Look out, here comes. He's doing the Red Rune. Ah, dodge it. Wow. I really should start turning the game off. Where it's too late to have this train of thought, but I really should have been turning the game off where we're supposed to be, so that we only have the one loading screen as the game turns on, and then we don't have to fast travel anywhere. But we're probably gonna have to fast travel somewhere, and I gotta sneeze. Okay. Yeah. No, don't hit the microphone, come on. Raise my hand to wipe my eye. And I'm smacking the arm of the pop filter, swiveling the whole thing. Oh yeah, I guess we're going over here first. Meeting Sigurd at the docks. Hello, wolf. Ivor did not acknowledge the wolf for once. But what about this dog, huh, Ivor? No? Okay. Man, I remember my dream last night had dogs in it. I don't remember what the dogs were doing. They did something. Excuse me.
Sigurd.
Shall we then,
I've got to mute my TV again.
Norway, and well beyond.
To Norway, then.
Good, good. Lead on.
Yep, now we're getting the loading screen again. The other loading screen. For going to where we're going. The world of Assassin's Creed, rights reserved, Valhalla is massive and full of interesting items and opportunities. Do you really need to say that in the game itself? Like, I already bought it. I mean, no, I didn't. I bought Game Pass, but I mean, with the amount of with the subscription cost of Game Pass, I think technically we bought it by now.
So strange. Little has changed, but it feels unfamiliar.
A few years abroad have shaped us more than all the decades we spent here, brother.
And it's bloody cold. Colder than I remember.
Yeah, you got less body mass now to keep you warm because you don't have the arm. Oh, that is a really disappointing boat sprint. It's more like a boat dodge, which they have that, and then they have this. Both things you have to spend upgrade points to get, by the way. And there is like nothing to do with them. Because there's no ship combat.
Let's have a song. Skjald.
This is Harald's Fairhair's kingdom
questionable.
now. Every peak and fjord. Pains me to say it, to think it even.
And our father, his fool. Poor man.
It is a role he chose. He bent easily and broke in half. Do not pity him.
No.
For many moons I could not sleep, always thinking of his betrayal. The horrors I wished upon him. He deserves nothing but shame now.
Put it out of your mind, Sigurd. There's no need to hound the old man.
No. He must taste the same foulness that I taste. He must know what glory he missed by staying here, the lapdog of a conqueror.
You want to speak with him?
Yes. Face to face. I will tell him the truth.
Like, I do genuinely wonder, like, what is the point of the ship upgrades? I mean, I guess there was one mission where we were on the ship and we were being shot at. And the shielding definitely would have been helpful there. But I don't know about the dashing.
We can continue later.
Alrekstad. It thrives. In spite of our father, no doubt.
Are you sure of this?
I will say what needs to be said.
Do you fear his rebuke?
Oh no. I crave it. It may be the old hound has lost his bark.
Or it may be you'll light a fire beneath him, inspire him with tales of our glory.
If I do, I'll stoke that flame until it burns.
What are you doing?
Hold here!
Let's see. It's over
Stretch your wings.
there.
Our father spends his days in the mead halls and his nights on barren planks of wood.
That's right.
We'll search the mead halls.
I remember one nearby. A sad hole where men soak their unhappiness.
We should look there.
We come empty-handed. Not even a gift to offer.
Rats don't appreciate gifts. They sniff and lick them, without care.
You are chipper, brother. Show me.
Probably there where the drinking game is.
That poor soaker, he never leaves.
From sunup to sundown, he just sits there, staring into his horn.
Once, just once, I'd have him take a bath.
He was a king once, that one. You'd never know by the way he sulks.
Harold? No, it's not Harold.
We
Didn't
should
realize he
go.
was considered king
Look at him.
once.
Father.
You said he was drinking out of a horn. That's not a horn.
Sigurd?
My son, Eivor, by Odin's blessing, come and let me look at you
Stop.
both.
That is far enough.
Blood of Tyr, what happened there? A grievous wound you have. Are you well?
Far better than I look, I assure you.
This calls for a toast. Your journey must have been long and cold. A drink to warm your blood.
We are not here to drink or make merry. Only to look upon the rackets of a once great man.
And then what? Make new war against King Harald? Stake a claim on his crown? Is that your wish? To sow more chaos here?
You're absurd, old man. What could possibly interest me in this frozen backwater?
I heard rumors that England was infested with kings already. I thought maybe you would return here to...
I have cast aside all dreams of kingship, father. A much greater end lies in wait for me. I have returned for one reason only. To say goodbye. And to thank you for your colossal failure.
Failure?
As a father, as a king, as a man. For without it, I would not have discovered my true self.
My failure, as you call it. My oath to King Harald was the only sensible path forward for a man in my situation.
I'm not really sure what approach I want to take here, so I'll just ask him, "Hey, how you been? What's been on? What's been going on?"
And what have you done with yourself since? Drink heavily and weep for what might have been?
Or I could say that too.
I have worked hard to
fine.
broker peace across our land, to spread Harald's message of unity.
I heard you sleep beneath Harald's bed, always at his beck and call, and that he uses your gaping mouth as a chamber pot.
You make light of my service to a great and powerful man. Is that how you treat those who serve you, Sigurd?
You pathetic worm!
Sigurd, this is not why we came.
Plans change.
As do hearts.
Not this one.
And you, Eivor?
You know what? Just whatever helps you sleep at night.
I wish you whatever peace you may find in this new life you have found.
I did not find it, Eivor. I chose it. The only way forward that did not lead to more violence and death and grief. Your father would have understood. He died to avoid a similar fate. To save his family at the cost of his reputation.
No. My father, he was...
He loved you. That is all.
Argur nonsense. I've heard enough.
Sigurd, from the day you were born, I wanted nothing more than to pass on my title, my land, my people, to you. But one year is never like another, and with the passage of time, certain truths appeared, unavoidable. Ours was the last kingdom in Norway to resist Harald's advance. To oppose him would have been our death.
You do not know that. We could have fought back.
We could have, yes, and suffered countless deaths for no other reason than to protect our pride.
We will never know the truth. Because you were too afraid to risk it.
Look after him, Eivor. And if you have the chance, lead him back from the edge of the abyss.
He is my brother, not my dog. Be well, old man. Serve your king with honor.
This sad business is finished. Good riddance. And now we sail for further shores. To my true purpose. To my destiny. To the end of my road.
I will follow you as far as you wish in this world, brother. If you mean to take us further, I may reconsider.
I do not think you will, Eivor. I think you will marvel at what I have to show you.
Still dwelling on your father.
Not at all. I was only reflecting on my visions, wondering at them. How present they are, like memories of yesterday.
Describe them for me, your visions.
My earliest was of a large door embedded in ice, far north of Herdafylke. The saga stone embedded at the top of its arch. As the visions grew stronger, the door opened, revealing many things. The life tree Yggdrasil, the golden fields of Valhalla, and the faces of our gods, all of whom called me friend, brother, warrior. I felt at home among them, warmed by their love.
You should know. You're not alone in this. I too have had visions.
Have you? And what did they foretell?
It is hard to say. I've seen Odin leading me into shadows. I've seen spinners weaving wild destinies from pools of blood. I saw the great beast Fenrir, the branches of the World Tree, and a man with...
Go on.
Valka warned me of a great betrayal, but what form it takes I cannot say.
I see.
I hold to my oaths, Sigurd. You know that. Betrayal is not in my nature.
Of course not. You are a stalwart as a pillar of stone. Come now. My destiny awaits.
Yeah, I have no idea where this could possibly be going. Northernmost fjord. All right.
Let's go. Sail! Catch the wind!
The daughters of Aegir, bless our passage.
Yes, I feel a great calm as we cross these waves.
This ordeal with the Elf King, Alfred. How far have you pushed him? Does he bend? Will he break?
Guthrum's army will be chasing him across Wessex now. With luck, he'll push Alfred into the sea.
Strange how these earthly concerns seem so distant to me.
But we've gained so much in England. We stand to win even more.
The Christians
Excuse
are
me.
hardy foes. They see one man above who holds the axe. One man higher than us all. That is a powerful feud.
We hold our own axe. We swing it where we may.
The woman, Fulke. In my time with her, as painful as it was, she showed me things. Things so strange and wonderful. I am almost grateful for her treachery.
What she did to you was cruel beyond measure.
Yet, with every snap of the flame, with every scar, the loss of my arm, my visions grew stronger.
If you can find the good in that, fine. But she was as mad as the ocean is wide.
Even the mad ones can offer wisdom. Their Jesus was an odd fellow. Now half the known world loves him. And no one believed us when we were young, and we chiseled our plans onto tables in meat halls. Not even my father.
There is the Sigurd I know well. Can we not return to England and finish together what we began?
No, forget all that. The future is forward. A great wealth awaits us.
I am with you, brother. Until the end.
It makes me feel almost certain that this is the end of the game and that we're not going back to England to get that last territory. Or at least not right now. Maybe as, like I said before, maybe as a post-game thing you can do optionally, but not for the main story, because the main story's always been about Sigurd. It's always been about following what he's up to. And I don't mean that in a way as like, oh, it revolves around him. Like, no, like, the story has always been Eivor following Sigurd. So, whatever he wants us to do is what we're doing. If he says forget about England, we're forgetting about England.
Keep moving forward!
You know the way!
As I know my own mind! We will cut through this winter sheet like swords through straw! Do not worry!
To perish on a lonely fjord would be the shame of our clan.
Ha! That we would!
I've got that tiny little bit of health missing, and I wanna fill it. I'm not gonna waste a ration doing it. Yeah, I almost feel like that last territory is meant to make you think like, oh, that's gonna be the last place. That's gonna be endgame, and then they bring you here.
Eivor, we will press on. The rest of you wait here.
You know, it was great having easy starting stopping points for their other streams. To just be like, hey, we're taking on new territory.
Into this kingdom of snow.
Sigurd, can we not wait for this to pass?
Ah, the sting of ice on skin. Revel in this, Eivor. We walk the footpath of the gods.
To where? More glaciers and deserts of snow.
To glory!
Could we not wait until this tempest quiets down? With this ship where we have meat and food to warm us?
No! We must confront the omens and honor the gods! They will not seek or find you! We must go to them!
We would be poor company with frozen bones and ice pellets for eyes.
You need not fear the cold, Eivor! Where we are going, the winds and snows cannot touch!
Like, it was nice knowing that, like, I could take on one whole territory per stream. And now we're at the point where I don't know that that's going to keep happening, so... It's a little discomforting not having an idea
It is
of
bitter cold.
what'll be
It's wind
happening.
from Niflheim.
Keep steady! It should not be far now!
The last thing I want to do is, you know, end the stream when I'm like 10 minutes away from beating the game. But then again, you know, this is a Ubisoft game. They got long credits. So I do, you know, I end the stream 10 minutes before we beat the game, and then next stream will still be an hour long.
It must be near! I know the shape of these rocks! Yes! We are close!
For the sake of frozen fingers, I hope so.
Reminds me of Skyrim. Sure do love me some Skyrim.
There. That frozen lake. This must be it. And ahead lies a cavern.
Will you not say where this leads?
You will see soon enough.
Too late to turn back, I fear.
There! The cave! Within hides the sacred gate.
I mean, considering what we've seen in Odyssey, I won't be too surprised if he ends up leading us to a temple. I feel like that's where we're getting at. That's what his visions are about. I just hope we
The
get
ice
any
looks
answers at all.
fragile. Can you clear it?
Like, I would hate to have this game end with killing Sigurd and then not getting any resolution as to what he thought was going on and what was actually going on.
My heart races. This is it.
Yep.
Gods, this door. Have you seen this before? The space above. The Saga Stone sat there, did it not?
Long, long ago, yes. Now stand clear. Svachoi nokvat uns membro trurvondi kvorde uns solas vras gnokadide unsum huchas reisterae chas saunsi.
How did you do this? Where did you learn these words?
I told you, Eivor. My visions are memories of a life once lived. Come.
Gods. What is this place?
And we do know resurrection is a thing in this series. And apparently immortality, according to Origins, so... Sigurd really could be a reincarnated Isu. But I don't know why I doubt it. I feel like this is pretty much confirmed already.
Over here. This blade will lead us onward.
But what I wonder is, like, who was he? What significance did his original self have?
Hoerasi.
Go down? Okay.
Sigurd, I don't know what to say. This is all so strange.
Trust this place, Eivor. This old and sacred place.
Where does it lead?
To the Hall of the Slain and the Golden Fields. To Valhalla.
I think that reaction says that Eivor thinks she's about to die.
This vessel, was it crafted by dwarves?
It is finely made, that much is true. I doubt Gunnar could hammer a piece any finer.
And this cavern, so deep and humming with magic.
Hello, Yeet Thunder Punch. Nice to see you again. Back at it with the baby Yodas. Or I guess Grogu's. That's his official name. Or I guess it doesn't have to be
There.
Grogu. Could be
The
any
old
kind of baby
tree,
Yoda.
The tree of life.
What is this?
See how proudly she sits. How beautiful she gleams. Here all the roots of life run together.
Skulls would cry to behold such a sight.
And there is more to come. I swear by all the names of the Old Father, this is only a taste of what I have in store for you. For my visions go further, to Odin's Great Hall. There. Do you feel that? The sacred energies.
I have never seen something so grand.
This shrine is ours. It will open for us. Watch and see for yourself.
How do you know these things? Was all this in your vision?
All this and more.
Suspicion is one of your favorite ones? Oh, that's good to hear. How's your night going? It's been going alright. I was a little irritated when I started, but not in anything in particular. I was just not feeling good. But I'm feeling better now. Streaming always seems to do that. Well, I guess not always. There have been some nights where I just never really felt better, but, you know, and it happens. Ooh, a ball of light. It's like a soul from Twilight Princess.
Yes, it is returning to me now. This ancient shrine is set alight by this sphere of metal. And these shining arms, these branches, they will grant us access to the refuse of the gods, to Valhalla. Are you ready?
What lies beyond all this? Where does this lead?
Take your place at the center there, and you will see.
Am I gonna start having visions? Well, okay, more visions. I forget, I do have the Odin visions. This is as fast as I can walk. Oh, it's getting picked up. Oh no! It's like a claw machine. Oh. I don't like how he's hanging there.
Hail, you givers.
I think there was another body hanging there too. Yep, there's two bodies here. No, not the neck. No, it's just like the Assassin's Creed movie. Don't make me remember that. Am I waking back up in the shaman's hut, or is this the longhouse? What if it turns out the whole game was a dream? We never went anywhere after our first vision quest.
What is this place?
Isn't this where I woke up when I did that first vision quest and Odin was over here? And then I chased him up the mountain and... Oh, look! We actually are in Valhalla.
Hail, Draenei, welcome! The Javi returns to lead us to victory.
They're calling me the Javi again.
Lead us to glory, Javi.
I think that's what they were calling me when I had the visions of Valhalla, of being Odin. Hope there's not something in particular I'm supposed to be looking for, because I figure I'm just... There he is. Trying to find Sigurd.
Eivor, Tyr said you would come. Welcome. Are you Valka's mother? Svala? You have a keen eye, Wolf-Kissed.
After all this time, Eivor, we have arrived. Now raise a horn with Freya here and sing a victory song.
Sigurd, what is all this? Your arm has returned, and your vicar as well.
Glory eternal, Eivor. Here we dine in the great hall of the slain, at long last. Oh, I want to scream with joy.
This is all so beautiful.
This has to be the Matrix.
Visions they were real.
The battle blows! Come, Tyr! To the field! Fight with us!
Go, Eivor. Enjoy the fight. You have earned your place here.
Whoop. Camera went through my body there for a moment. I could see my eyeballs from the wrong side of my head. It just reminds me of the days of Black Flag and Unity being extremely buggy. Having people's faces not spawn. Whoop. What is this, like sudden death mode, or is this just a me thing?
This is incredible.
Like, you would think if these guys are also in Valhalla enjoying their afterlife, that they want to die in one hit. Blue guys are coming after me? I thought blue guys were supposed to be on my side.
Sigurd, this place is incredible.
Oh, I think I'm standing a little too close to him.
You and I must fight,
The battle we never had.
and hold nothing back, for here we need not fear a thing. Spill the eternal blood of Valhalla.
At last, the ship.
Didn't even last long enough for the cutscene to,
Brother.
the dialogue to finish.
Worry not, Eivor. For we earn no scars here, only battle wisdom.
Okay, but your arm is definitely off. Or are we just gonna wake back up and... Didn't quite mean literally, but alright. Literally waking back up in Valhalla. Back inside the halls proper. Wait a minute, this isn't the Matrix. It's Groundhog's Day! No!
Lead us to glory, Javi.
We are proud to serve you, Javi.
Wet my lips with another horn of mead, brother.
They're definitely saying the same things. It really is Groundhog's Day. Oh no.
Your arm has grown back.
It was never gone, Eivor. Not truly. Nothing is permanent here. I told you. Nothing save the courage and reputation of its warriors.
Are we immortal in this place?
Let us discover that together.
A new day.
I guess it makes sense how a slain warrior can end up here. It's because when you're here, you end up here if you're slain. So just kind of does that. There's people who die end up in Valhalla. Even if you die in Valhalla, you just end up in Valhalla. This reminds me of jokes of like, well, what happens if you die in heaven? Do you just go to super heaven? What if the Grim Reaper dies? Who reaps him? The Super Reaper? Well, if you live for battle, I can see how this would be heaven. Get to battle for eternity and only improve. Never get worse. Because you can't get injured or die. Yeah, my axe slashes are making them explode into pieces. That's not even how an axe should work. Like, you know, let alone how easily an axe can cut through someone and cut their head off. That I'm okay with. But exploding them into pieces?
Bit to the marrow's bed.
Again, you've lost your arm.
And again it will return.
Really makes me wonder, like, is your arm just fragile because you lost it in the what do they call Earth? What do they call not Valhalla? Like the realm of mortals. What was there? What word do they use for that? I know they have a word.
Cannot have been my father.
I feel like it is a word I do know. I just can't remember it. Oh well, it's not important. You know what I mean.
Break your horn. Join the battle cheer.
Dearest skald of war and verse, how do you like this frenzy so far?
It is quite something. Raise your horn, Eivor. What stops you? My father, Baron. Have you seen him in this hall? I have not. Should he be here? No, he died a coward. Yet by Odin's eye, I swear I have seen him.
Cast aside your cares in Valhalla. Let seeking go. We have earned our joy. The journey is complete.
I saw you, Father. Where are you? Show yourself.
Maybe we can seek him out with Odin's sight.
Serve you, Javi.
Great warriors. Have you seen Baron?
Who?
Baron, my father.
Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow never comes.
Who was I talking to?
Baron? Father.
Why are they chanting my name? I'm not the most special person here. Sure, there are plenty of great warriors here. Probably got better names than mine to chant.
Where is he?
I feel like they just keep buffing me. Like, now my axe blows 3 people to chunks. Did you lose your arm again?
Next time I lose this fucking arm, I'll beat a man to death with it.
Do you not tire of these injuries?
Never.
Aren't you supposed to be able to learn from your past failures in here? You know, whatever kills you or whatever you get injured by, you can learn to avoid it. Oh no, I lost my eye. Now I'm Odin. Okay, next thing's gonna be a spear or javelin. It's gonna pin me to the world tree. That's not gonna be fun. I'm gonna be like that for 9 days. Who wants to be javelin for 9 days? No one. Where'd I get that knife?
Eivor, you have a guest.
You should have knocked first.
Nonsense. I brought you someone. Look.
My Eivor, there you are. What a warrior you have made of yourself. I am overfilled with pride.
How did you find your way here?
You remember our great battle. You remember how we fought side by side with your mother and Sigurd and our clans united.
We fought, Father, but you did not. You died a coward.
Eivor, enjoy this. Your father has returned. Have you lost all your love for life?
That was not my father. That was a lie.
That was not a lie. That was my gift to you. I have power here, and I can do as I please. You wished to see your father, I made it happen. As easy as breathing.
By Odin's laws, my father is not allowed in this place. I do not wish to see him where he should not be.
Your father died doing what he hoped would save you. He died to protect you. and his clan.
No. He...
This is the end of our road, Eivor. This is Valhalla, the eternal golden field. Now come. Battle beckons.
Oh, everyone's gone
How is
already?
all this possible?
Well, more pig for me! Okay. I'm not gonna stand in front of the pig. Don't want to waste time with that silly joke.
How are the slain brought here?
The Valkyries know this. Only them.
No, that cannot be true. None of this feels right.
Do not despair, Eivor. Look. Your friends are here. Everyone you could ever want is here beside you.
No, they are not real. This place is a lie.
This place can be whatever you wish it to be, Eivor.
I do not want it. Not like this.
You would resign yourself to an empty death?
The ecstasy I feel here is an illusion. I'd sooner call like a raven than sing a false song.
Illusion or not, here there is no death, no pain, no loss, no betrayal, not like out there.
You want this? To live inside a lie?
She was the person on the other, one of the things, wasn't
I
she?
am an old woman with a broken body. What life I had left was brief, so I bid farewell to my dear Volka, and came here.
I wish you well, Svala. But this is not for me. I must find Sigurd.
Oh, he's probably over here kneeling after he lost his arm again. It's like Kenny dying in South Park. You just know what's gonna happen again. Hello, Sigurd. Where you at? Still got both arms still? You know, I wonder if there's a name for that. There's got to be a name for that trope when someone is put into a perfect dream realm, but there's like one flaw that they notice. And then that makes everything fall apart. You know, like in Codename Kids Next Door when number 1 was put in that dream, and he was like, wait a minute, number 4 can't swim.
The arm! The arm! Always the fucking arm!
Sigurd, this is an illusion. A trick. Leave with me now and return to England. Our people need us.
No, I am no one in that world. I am somebody here. Powerful, capable, a god. Here I may live forever. Here I cannot die.
Cows die. Family die. You must die. The only thing that never dies is the reputation of the one who's died. In here, you have no reputation. But out there, it's not too late. Every day, the same empty war. The same hollow victory. Spilling blood that tastes of water and smells of grass. You have known real battle. Real glory. But this is not it. You know this. I know you do. brother. It's time to leave.
Am I destined to follow you everywhere? Till the end of my life?
I'm the one who's been following you, man.
All right. We go.
No, you stay. I do not give you leave to go.
I don't think you're the real Odin. Hey, I don't have my tattoo.
I leave this place, a glory you thought so hard to find.
I think I'm also wearing the wrong armor.
I am humbled to walk with you, Eivor. Your reputation is a song warriors will sing forever. You are the wolf-kissed one, who lingered at the edge of death, yet fought back.
I don't know, you could say that I fought back. I got saved by a raven.
You spilled the raven wine of battle to paint whole kingdoms red.
It's a little hard to see because you can see through it. See, this is the problem with holograms. This is why we should stick to screens.
You have killed kings and crowned them as you desired, bowing to none. You stood tall where your brother stumbled, yet still, you came to his aid.
Like, seriously, can you turn down the brightness on them just a little bit? They're kind of hard to see.
You have felled many great foes in your brief time.
What if I had changed my hair? Would my hair have changed too?
Seize it.
Like, would my hair be this hair in this realm?
Stand aside. My people need me.
I have given you everything you wanted, everything you needed.
You gave me nothing. It was all me.
Yet I cleared your path. I guided your axe.
You were a fly buzzing in my ear.
How dare you deny me?
Are we gonna boss fight against Odin?
Everything you believe in stirs before you. Yet you question all. You question the very gods.
Boss fight against Odin.
Fight. Do not diminish yourself.
Your corpse holds
Oh, I don't have a shield.
nothing but a dream.
Nothing but a dream. A dream as real as anything in this world. Do dreams not inspire? Do dreams not make us fearful? Do they not push men to their greatest glories?
When I am done dreaming.
What if this is a fight I'm supposed to lose? Certainly not letting up enough for me to get much of a hit in. That's a super slow-mo I got on him. Yeah, really should have been doing that instead of parrying. It's pretty objectively better. Can get more hits in. Stop teleporting. You keep on doing my lock on. probably not even supposed to actually win. Oh yeah? I think I got closer that time. I can weave my own destiny. Nothing is true. And everything is permitted, including leaving! I'm still gonna do it. I don't think I've been getting closer. Maybe I am supposed to beat him. I'm supposed to die again? I don't like when the way to win a fight is to not actually win it. Yeah, he's got no health bar or anything, so I'm probably just supposed to die again. Nope, now Ranvi's there. It's control over my axe. Wait, so the way I'm supposed to leave is to unequip my axe? No, I guess I can't unequip it. Yeah, why did it tell me to open the menu? Maybe I can put it in this hand. And then, well, that unequipped it. Bye.
Take up your axe. Take up your axe.
We're raiding with a party of 3. Oh. I'll have to get to the raid countermeasures after this cutscene.
Stand and face me, you feeble-down thrall! Leave me now. You are nothing. With me, you have wisdom, glory, power. What more do you need?
Family.
Are you with me? Sigurd!
Ah, the hanged one awakes. Feet
Basim?
upon the ground once more.
What are you doing?
Be careful!
Basim, what is this?
Come closer, Eivor. Let me get a better look at you.
Leave him be, Basim.
For too long I stared at the sun. It blinded me to the truth. That it was you. It was you I wanted all along.
Did you drag us here? Like a cowardly fox concealed in the brush?
You widowed my destiny, Wolf-Kissed. You broke all my hopes.
He's mad, Eivor. Silence him!
Come, Eivor. Come save your crippled prince of dead ravens.
Well, time for the countermeasures.
Hi all, this is Kermit the Frog.
You know what to do, right, Jojo?
Sure, of course I do. Run as fast as I can! Make way! Move! Out of the way!
This guy's insane!
Thank you for the raid.
It is
Oh,
nothing.
can I not? Okay.
Go! Kill that background!
I don't want to kill Basim. I like Basim.
You
I'm
must
gonna play as him in the next
suffer
game.
1,000 times what I suffered.
What is this about?
My son, Eivor. This is about my son.
Oh, I caught his throwing knife. I forgot I could do that. I didn't kill your son. Look at that.
Forgiveness is impossible.
We shared so much in England.
You really didn't do much with that.
Dig, Eivor.
Oh man, you got a grappling hook?
To the wellspring of your memory.
Was your son the wolf? Your son was the wolf that bit me? Yeah, I swear, he's got a grappling hook. I want a grappling hook. Does Mirage have a grappling hook? Love that.
Speak your grievance. Show yourself.
See if I can throw
I'm not
another throwing
wished
knife
to
back at
fight
him.
with you. What does battle serve? Let us speak.
I have waited countless ages for this moment. No more talk. I hunger for this kill.
He doesn't have a health bar, so I want to believe I won't kill him. He doesn't even have weak points. Yeah, he's totally got a grappling hook. You know, one who doesn't know this series would say, like, oh, how you have a grappling hook in 9th century? They didn't have those. Apple of Eden. That's how. I actually saw the zip line that time. The tether to his grappling hook. Every time he'd zip, I'd be like, oh, that's gotta be a grappling hook. And now we know for sure. I see you, you know. What are you doing? Oh, come on, don't start maniacally laughing. Don't suddenly become cartoonishly evil. Okay, what am I doing wrong? Does not give me any more detail. What if I let him kill me?
Show me your neck. Show me. The kiss of a wolf takes my prize. Of course. Rise. Sun will not suffer in vain.
You spout nonsense like an alehouse drunk. You're assigned to this, so be it. Is this what you wanted?
I want you to suffer.
Probably gotta wait till the elevator gets to the top
When
now.
I have finished, it will be a sack of blood and shattered bones, and my conscience will be clear.
How about some of this? Yeah, your mentor taught me that. Or your mentee? Apprentice. Your apprentice taught me that. Oh, we had a stun bar this whole time.
Damn! Let us make this more interesting. We'll drag Sigurd into the fray.
But he's downstairs. We went up.
Coward! Face me! Fight me here!
Oh, he just leap of faith down. Of course there's hay. There's always hay when you need it.
Be on your guard, Sigurd!
Even in long-forgotten temples. And plenty of mushrooms, just in case. It's like, hey, do you need a heal? No, like, really, do you need a heal? Are you sure? Like, just want to make sure. Are you healed? You got enough health? Your ration's full? I think it's just that the first one was probably just like, hey, are you at full health? And then the rest are just to make it look natural.
Oathbreaker, you'll die here.
This brings me no joy, Justice Bringer. You were always so kind, but you chose the wrong side.
What did I throw?
I am your prize, Basim. Come.
You are indeed. Will you not die?
Not here. Not by your hand.
I will leave you here to die.
Come on, I totally pressed the shield button. Are we gonna put him in the thing?
Sigurd! Stop this thing! Douse its fire! Sigurd!
Does he still live?
He does. But in darkness.
Good. The bastard.
For how long had Basim been planning this treachery?
I dare not guess. Gods!
Oh, Okay,
Am I to be
arrows.
hounded by a parade of blood-minded traitors the whole of my life? There is no end to this.
You have something you want to say, then say it.
I need some time to breathe. That man's anger, his rage, it had a familiar sting that I cannot place.
He was raving, Sigurd. Without sense or reason. Pay it no mind.
I am not mad, Eivor. These things I see and feel, I know they are true.
I know, brother. Now more than ever. You always spoke true. We should cast our eyes towards home. It's a long journey and I... not well.
Home. Eivor. On our journey here, I had much time to think. On the ecstasies and the agonies of our friendship. I am not the man I was. My time as the Jarl of our clan has run short. You must lead us now.
Do you mean this?
Randvi told me of your bravery, your courage, your wisdom. In my absence, you were a pillar of stone. She admires you.
And I her. But that cannot be the only reason.
When Dag called you out and challenged you to a duel, you let him die with honor, in spite of his betrayal.
Oh, is this the part of the game where they go over all my decisions?
I recall our days in Oxenfordshire, our search for the Saga Stone. You disagreed with my orders, but you followed them. You questioned my methods, my aims, but you did not disobey. And I remember and admire the way you guided us from Norway to England. You kept my anger in check, my ambitions focused.
It was a trying time.
In all my days away, in my fog of confusion, you have shown great wisdom and strength and leadership. Where you go, Eivor, I will follow. Our clan is yours to lead.
Thank you, brother. I won't let you down.
You have a stormy look.
Years ago, before we left for England, I saw a vision. A vision that foretold a betrayal. That I would betray you. I refused to believe it. I would never do such a thing, I told myself. But in the years since, I have robbed you of your dreams. Of England. Of Valhalla. If you feel I have wronged you, brother, I will make it right.
We cannot unweave our fates, Eivor. All is laid before us, from the day we are born. To be angry at this would be like wrestling the ocean. A pointless struggle.
We two ragged ravens. What a saga we have inscribed together.
A tale for the ages.
Complete the prophecy storyline. So I guess that's the main story done? Right, they have pulled us out of the Animus so little in this game, I forgot this game even has an out of Animus.
Bex, I'm coming out.
Steady, Layla.
Were you watching my feed? What the hell was all that?
I think that was the solution to our problem.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Desmond.
Desmond? What about him?
What do you mean, Desmond? What did he have to do with any of that?
He was just a bartender before he joined us. Not even a very good one. That's when he learned his real purpose. He was like a... I don't know, like a singularity. You know, a vanishing point. All of human history seemed to converge on him.
In 2012, the sun threw off a mass coronal ejection so large, it should have wrecked all life on Earth.
I remember. I worked at Abstergo then.
It was Desmond who saved us. He knew how to stop it.
Abstergo claimed credit for that. Something about their satellite network.
That's bullshit. It was Desmond. He pulled the switch that saved the world.
But that switch is still on. Still generating a magnetic field. One that's growing stronger every day.
The temple Eivor found. That's where the field originates.
Exactly. And it's been running for 8 years. Getting stronger and stronger. It'll be dangerous now. Heat, radiation.
Doesn't matter. We have to fix it. Shut it down.
No. Slow it down. It's still protecting us.
All of this is starting to make sense.
Is it?
Everything I've done, everything I've learned, it led me here to this moment.
You'll need the staff for this one. For protection. Otherwise, you won't make it past the first gate.
Right, of course. Okay. I'm ready.
Okay. I'll pack the van.
And I'll contact our ship. It can be in Boston Harbor by tomorrow night.
Thanks, Bex.
But the temple that had the switch in it was in America, so what suddenly leads them to believe, oh, of course, the temple in Norway, that's where it comes from. Because the switch was just in America, but the generator itself,
Hop in.
of course, the generator was in Norway. It's so obvious now. The ball of light, it's just like the ball of light Desmond touched. Why wouldn't we just go back to the ball of light Desmond touched? Well, okay, I guess Sean did say we don't want it off, we just want it slowed. It's still protecting us.
Sean, I'm here.
Ah, good. Your signal's already a little wobbly. Are you inside?
Not yet, but there's 100 feet of ice above me.
All right, we may lose touch when you push through, so remember what we talked about. Watch your meters carefully, for radiation especially, and keep the staff close.
Got it.
Standing by.
Excuse me. Because I could use a little bit of staff power to clear my throat.
Zawaho en nakwat. Unsme borturwan di guarde. Ul solos fras hunakudide. Unzum huraz vesderehaz zohumsi.
I wonder if that's a real language. Like Latin or something.
I'm in.
And remember, do not cut the machine off. Just slow it down. The field it generates, but still protect the Earth.
I hear you. The elevator still works.
75,000 years. What's another millennium or two?
You know, I take issue with the fact that Sean said that...
Already.
Yes, by our reckoning, it's going to go up by about 16 degrees Celsius.
How does it draw so much power?
Tectonics is our best theory. The movements of the Earth's crust, the churning lava beneath. Huge source of energy.
That's tech humans should have. Energy, not pieces of Eden.
Well, when all this is over, we can get a startup going, you know? Get a little workspace, buy a van, just the three of us.
Shit.
We already have a
You're
van.
breaking up, Sean.
Say that again, please. You're breaking up.
Forget it. I'll call you when I'm topside.
Why don't you try calling us when you're topside? Something like that.
Here we go.
Yeah, I take issue with that Sean said that Desmond was just a bartender before he joined them. He was an assassin his whole life, but then he ran away to become a bartender because he didn't want to be an assassin. And, you know, it's easy to play the first game and think he was just a bartender the whole time. But there really is that I don't know what you would call it, kind of undertones of him not just being a bartender. Like, even in the first game. And, I forget where they start elaborating on that, but I think at the very latest, it was, Revelations that starts to go into detail about his past. So he wasn't just a bartender. That's a misinterpretation of the story.
Must have collapsed when the ice melted.
Yeah, what do you reckon we do now? Oh, a slide? Okay. Well, it's a good thing the staff is back-mounted. Look, I get to slide. Whee! Oh. Okay, no, slide.
From all that melted ice.
Can I pass? Is this a invisible wall? Yeah, that's a wall. Like, it's not an invisible wall. It's a very visible light wall. Where am I supposed to get up? Oh, can I dive under it? No, but I can go over there. You know, I was thinking when we were here at Zavor, that, like, must feel really confusing to anyone who only plays like a couple of these games. When you get to near the end, and then suddenly there's these ancient, lost, high-tech temples. Well, okay, vaguely high-tech, because it's...
Don't look down.
It's like not the most obvious that it's high-tech, but you know, you can feel it. It's got that... It's got a kind of cyber-y feel to it. But no, the games have been doing this since, like, the second one. Alright, jump over there. It's practically a series tradition. You suddenly start going into these temples, and you have your character for that game be like, oh, what is all this stuff? But if you play enough of these games, you're like, yep, okay, here we go again. It's the Isu stuff. Just gonna parkour through another temple. Stuff's gonna fall away as I jump on it. There's probably gonna be barriers and lasers and probably someone trying to stab you in the back for whatever's locked away in here. I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, you know, it's fine to have your through lines or whatever. And if you do only play like one or two of these games, you know, Valhalla's your first Assassin's Creed, like it doesn't come off as bad. It's just suddenly like, oh, this is an ancient temple. Forgot about the part where we were Vikings, which now suddenly it's Indiana Jones, I guess.
Why would anyone want to end their life here, unless they felt it was just beginning?
And look, they're still here.
It's just like the Animus. It's just like the Animus.
Yeah, the movie Animus. Oh, cool, I'm here now, too.
This is Eivor's Valhalla. Or a simulation of it. So what am I looking for? Will I know it when I see it?
You know, it's funny to think if this really is just the same technology as the Animus. Like, the Isu almost had their own version of the Animus. Which I feel like probably wouldn't be very interesting to them. Because, you know, there's not as much history to explore.
What is this?
Herder?
Are you doing
It's
this?
the Fates.
Are you pushing this machine to its limit?
So here we went.
Go a little faster, please.
Who's your master? Is he here?
They flatter me. I am only a guest in their world. A world spun of wishes and hopes.
Basim,
So you're fully aware of where you
sent
are,
the
huh?
message. You led us to Eivor's grave.
Yes. A hopeful message, was it not?
How? You've been trapped here for a millennium. Eivor put you here.
Indeed. But I'm not alone in this place. Not always. I have a friend who helps me. Together, we read the calculations.
Is it
After
Juno?
we located Eivor's probable resting place, I contacted you. Through the digital lasses that enwebs this earth like a spider's nest. In our day, all the world was connected like this. A superorganism of technology. The staff you carry, the temples you have visited, all of it speaks as one. May I show you something?
I imagine you can do anything you want in this place.
Not as much as you might think. I am tethered to my body in a most uncomfortable way.
But you can slow this machine down. You know how it works.
Yes. We'll do it together. For another catastrophe is near at hand. This node of time has an ugly way of correcting itself. Go ahead.
You're a hard man to trust. You must know that.
You're not obliged to trust me. But this is all I can offer.
God damn it.
Silence, Udur. Verdandi. Skald. Be at ease. Your day of rest has come.
At peace. At last.
I thought their hands were backwards. No, they're just facing the opposite as what I thought they were.
Is that it? Is it done? Basim! Where are you? What is that?
Man, is that like the web of probability or something? Like they're saying the world tree was actually just like statistics?
Run it again.
A visualization of statistics?
Layla. Hello.
The reader.
Know me?
Yes. Through the calculations I read here in the gray. 8 years ago, the odds of your arrival were 15,055,003,276 to 1. As the years passed by, those odds improved. And as of yesterday, near even. It's a pleasure to meet you at last.
Who are you? And what is this?
I am the reader of the calculations. All these possible futures for you and the world outside.
That's kind of cool.
I have spent much of my new life reading these, searching for a way to finish everything we started so long ago. It begins here. You slow down this machine and save the world, from which point all possible futures expand. Millions upon millions of possible roads. But in every one, another catastrophe recurs. the node collapses and the world is wiped out. The human race dwindles and fades. I must keep looking. I must find the solution for you. I must leave you with something.
This node. This is right now where I slow down this machine?
Yes. I start all my calculations from this point. The only thing I know for certain.
That seems limiting.
How do you mean?
What if you went back further, to 2012 when Desmond saved the world?
Desmond?
What if he didn't save the world? What if he walked away and let the world burn? Look at those timelines. Read them instead.
I see. An interesting idea. Fascinating. Billions upon billions of new timelines to explore.
Exactly. These are timelines that never came to pass, but they could have. If Desmond had let the world be destroyed, maybe the humans that survived would have learned something from the disaster. And maybe in one of those timelines they could have found a way to prevent it from happening ever again.
That is brilliant. How did you come to that idea?
Okay, now it just sounds like she's writing fan fiction.
Possible, you may never give another thought to the improbable.
Thank you for your insights, Layla.
It's only the beginning. We have a lot of data to sift through.
Are you staying?
Until we find something useful, I will. I don't want this to happen ever again.
You may not have much time, Layla. The machine is powered down, but the radiation, it will linger for decades. By my calculations, you have 73 seconds before your exposure is lethal.
I'm not worried. I have the Staff of Eden. It heals and protects.
No. You do not.
What? How? Of course.
Of course.
Fuck. All right. We'll find a solution together. However long it takes. And if that means I can never leave, so be it. I owe this to the people I hurt. The people I love.
Yes. I know the feeling.
Let's get going, huh? A few billion timelines might take a while.
It will. But it will not feel like it. That is what I like about this place.
I like how she became a glowing silhouette too. Yeah, man and a woman. It's just like Adam and Eve. We did it! We found Eve! We did it! Finally! It only took us 7 games. Is that the same? Shouldn't his finger heal too?
With me.
I'm with you.
It
Alethea?
worked perfectly, my dear.
Is the Mad One here?
No, my love. Only we remain.
And Layla?
The air of memories fulfilled her role perfectly. Now then, a new world awaits.
Sean, Bex, I had a choice. And I chose to stay. You'll wonder where I am. You might wonder if I am. I don't know how to answer that. But I'm not afraid. And I'm not alone. We have work to do. Work that may take us days or years. It's impossible to say. But we'll finish it. What I mean is, don't come looking for me. It's too dangerous, and
and too late. Take care of yourself. Take care of the world we still have. And take care of...
You see, she's fine. In a manner of speaking.
A manner of speaking. Jesus, we have to find her.
You heard her. She doesn't want to be rescued.
Is that Desmond's hoodie?
Bullshit.
In any case, there's nothing left to save. Not after this long.
Because of you. You left her there.
This is all a bit much. I know. I'm in the same situation.
No. You're in a class all your own, man.
We're assassins now? Not hidden ones?
From the Arabic, Hashishin.
Ah. And do we have a mentor? Is that still the practice?
We do.
Name?
William Miles.
William Miles. I'd like to meet William Miles. Would you bring him to me?
We can call him. Encrypted line. You can talk to him right now.
No technology. Face to face. A meeting of minds. It's time to take the fight to these Templars, as you call them. I won't go anywhere, my friends. Your animus is in good hands.
How much do you know?
My dear, we invented such things long, long before you did. I'll figure it out.
That's not the shield I played with.
It's a nice place to die, Eivor. Not everyone gets to choose. You bested me. I don't know how, but you did. Yet, I'm the one left standing. And now, I can take from you anything I want. Your memories, your skills, your secrets. They're all mine. And when I have them, I will put them to good use. To find my children. And bring my family back together.
Oh, I'm him now. Okay.
A quiet place to find an end. I almost envy you.
Anything on the table that's cool? No? Okay. Go back inside. Here's the case where the staff was. Wait, focus?
Hello, little fella.
Oh, just looking at a scroll. You got stuck here? I can see how. Maybe sit by the fire?
Ah, the wonderful smell of wood smoke. I'm glad some things never change.
I mean, I think it does. I think different kinds of wood burns differently, makes different smoke. Probably has a different smell to it. Isn't like that the whole? Isn't that the whole principle behind like different, like smoking meat with different kinds of wood? You know why like things will specify like, oh, it's apple wood smoked because it smells different and therefore tastes different. I like that this game kind of explains everything. Like, explains all the Isu stuff.
Hold tight, love. A new world has opened to us. Once I get my bearings, there is nothing we cannot achieve.
Because, you know, even for the people who have been following this series since the beginning, enter Animus, then I'm sure there are people who forgot.
The bleeding effect shouldn't take long to kick in. A few days at most. So here we go.
Oh, this is probably just going to make me Ivor again, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, maybe the game is over. I think the series did hit a point where it stopped showing the end credits when you beat the main story. So it could be over. This could just be letting you go back as Ivor to, you know, keep playing the main game. But I guess we'll see once it loads, because there'll possibly be cutscenes stuff for, you know, welcoming Ivor back to Ravensthorpe or something. Yeah, so I guess this is where Layla's story ends, which I'm fine with, honestly. I wasn't really that attached to her. Like, she was fine in Origins. Perfectly serviceable protagonist for that. But Odyssey just did, like, nothing with the modern day stuff. Except for, like, you know, the whole twist, and spoilers if you haven't played that yet, but sadly it's stuck at this point. We would need to do all this. Oh, all the assassins and side missions. Okay, well, I've almost finished all the assassin stuff. So I guess I can at least see what, see if the game will let me do that right now. Oh yeah, forgot I was saying something. Yeah, the ending of Odyssey, and I will warn again, spoilers, because they did try to have a twist there. That oh, they're probably gonna start talking in a moment.
Steady, Eivor.
You have like 200 hours, maybe even 300, and still haven't completed the game? Dang.
Eivor, Sigurd.
Toby.
Welcome home.
You can shake Sigurd's hand. He still has the one. He didn't lose both of them. Did we just walk through the wall?
We missed a great feast, it seems.
Eivor. Sit a moment and rest.
Sigurd.
For me.
Gift of the gods, you are back.
Safe and standing tall.
Did you find what you were looking for?
We did. We did. But it was not for us.
What is this?
Eivor's returned! Inside of the hearth, come!
Your secret is no longer safe.
Eivor? Randvi? What is this? Is everything all right?
Our Jarl's Kuna has returned to lead us forward into an uncertain future. Will you speak to your people?
For love and joy, words can jade. Our souls must sound in a heartful song. And when... No. You're less mine than I'm yours. And I ask of you only this. Keep me honest in the times to come.
Hearken well in Hall of Kings. On ocean steed my words gain wings. Odin's mead I forth will bring. For noble deeds thine honor sing. We beat and blaze our trail of red, till Odin gazed upon the dead. The voice resound the mighty hall. For those who fight, for those who fall. For those who fight and those who fall. May horns resound the mighty hall. For we who fight, for we who fall.
See, that feels like a roll credits moment. Oh no, am I back at Valhalla? A letter? For me? Gift from the other world. Where is that? Drink the potion. I don't want to go to Niflheim. I leveled up at some point. Twice. Alright, well, let me take a quick break, and then I'll come back and we can try to figure out how to get that. I at least want to get the last assassin targets if we can. There should be 2, because they didn't let us get them before. It said you needed story progress. Okay. Hythem may have more information. Okay, maybe. Is that what you were talking about, Thunder Punch? Was that you need to beat all the side missions to be able to get the last 2 order targets? Find and kill members of the order. Complete 10 contracts. Drink the potion. Oh yeah, the Isle of Skye. Asgard, Finland. Trying to remember where this was. Oh yeah, okay. Master Challenge. What do you mean reach Ravensthorpe? I've reached Ravensthorpe. Drink the potion. The Vaughn and the River Raid dock. I don't want to do River Raids. Oh yeah, there's the level up I didn't get before. And the other one, okay, yep. That's why I didn't realize I leveled up, because it did the thing again. Where I have the points before the game even showed me that I leveled up. It's weird that that happens. Okay, Hytham.
Eivor, did Basim contact you in Norway? He said he would be joining you. Yet here you are, and I have no word from him.
Hytham, this will be hard to hear, but Basim attacked us in Norway. Vengeance for some transgression of ours, imagined or real.
You mean you slew him yourself?
Sigurd and I, together. I know this comes as a...
I do not understand. Why would he do such a thing? He loved Sigurd, he loved you.
I do not understand it myself. Perhaps one day we can speak about this with more clarity. But for now, I am deeply sorry. I have to go.
Then go in peace.
I mean, maybe Mirage will give us answers to what happened with Basim. That's not the pause button. So I was using my offhand to do that instead of the hand that you would normally use to press that button. Because I have my other hand on my mouse and I'm looking up Gorm. Come on, load faster. Oh yeah, this is the son of the guy. The guy that killed our father, and that we killed him, and then his son took his place. Oh, he's in Vinland. Yeah, I don't want to go through a whole nother region to get this guy. 100 hours was enough game for me. I would very much like to play Mirage now. So now that I've beaten the main story, I think I'm done with this one. But I will still go on a break, and then when I come back, I'll do the credits because it feels wrong to finish a game without seeing the credits. So I'll be right back. Oh, I almost forgot to mute. Alright, here we go. Credits time. Get ready for another 2 hours of this stream. Oh, a memory of their lost friend. Or their friend and colleague, Russell Lees. Ah, they led with it. I mean, I'm not used to credits leading with in memory of. They usually have those in the end. It's never fun seeing that. Yeah, I realized I never finished my thought. I said twice now, like, oh, it's a spoiler warning for Odyssey. You better be careful because I'm going to spoil it. And then I never got to what I wanted to say. Let me start that train of thought over so it comes out more clear. I thought Layla was a fine character. She worked in... She worked well enough in... I always pause because I can... They're both O words, and I get them mixed up. Origins. As the modern-day protagonist for Origins, she worked. I feel like they tried a little too hard to make her like this charmingly quirky engineering girl. It didn't land for me, but I'm sure someone likes her. She wasn't offensive. She just, felt kind of corporate. The kind of like, oh, we gotta appeal to modern day people. We gotta appeal to this generation. We'll make her quirky. We'll make her do an AMA on Reddit. And it didn't work for me. And then Odyssey, she doesn't really do anything. Instead of seeing those by assuming love those makes it to the point that allows who worked on it and who were lost. Yeah. Sorry, I'm pausing because I was like, I wanted to say more about that, but it's like, well, do I really have anything to add onto that train of thought? It's different when it happens for those that they lost but love it. Yeah. And then, okay, so there we go, mixing them up. Odyssey barely had any existing modern day story, because Origins was cool in how like Layla was like kind of rebelling against Abstergo already in what she was doing to go find Bayek's body and get his memories and stuff. And then, as you play, she starts to get discovered by Abstergo. But the bleeding effect happens, so she absorbs Bayek's assassin skills, which is cool. It's a fun parallel to Desmond, who also had to fight off Abstergo and learn assassin skills. Well, not really learn them, because he was always an assassin, but he wasn't... he wasn't sharp. So you have all of 2 as training for him, like using... I was going to say all of Ezio's life. No, not all of it, because you still have Brotherhood and Revelations. Excuse me. You have those games with the rest of Ezio's life. But 2, like the whole reason they played as Ezio in 2 was to train Desmond through the bleeding effect. So it was cool having that kind of happen again. And then Odyssey just decides that it doesn't want any modern day story except this idea of like, oh, we're trying to find the staff. Okay. And then they find the staff. And then go get the staff. And that's kind of it. Just like this game. They didn't really do much with Layla in this game either. And, here's the spoilers that I kept saying I was gonna say, and I didn't say. I'm gonna say it now. Was that in Odyssey, when you find the staff, when you find it in your memories as Cassandra or Alexios, whoever you play as, they take the staff, and now they're immortal. And they stay there until Layla finds them. So the twist is like, oh man, whoa! You get to meet the person your memories you're exploring. They've never done that before, and that's a cool twist. But that's about all I can say about it. It's a twist. It happens, and then now Layla has this staff. I guess I can't really say. I don't have a fair opinion of Odyssey's ending, because I didn't finish Odyssey. I didn't like Odyssey. I really did not like Odyssey. And I will say, this game did everything Odyssey tried to do and actually stuck the landing. Except for the mercenary system. This didn't try to have anything like that. And good, because the mercenary system sucked. You take a sip of water. So, I like that this game kind of has its own version of that twist, in that Basim basically becomes immortal, and then you meet him in the modern day. Well, Layla doesn't meet him because she's kind of dead now, but I hope I hope people who liked Layla, who were fond of Layla, I hope they found that ending acceptable. Because for me, it's kind of acceptable. You know, it's always cheap when, or it seems like whenever a story has an ending like that, where it's like, oh, if you don't do this thing, you'll die. But if you don't do this thing, you won't save the world. And then, you have the protagonist have to sacrifice himself to save the world. And it's like, did they need to die there? Would the story have been that much worse if they did the thing and then lived? And then, happily ever after and all that? I don't feel like this was one of those cases. I feel like it's not like the most cheap thing ever that Layla's pulled in there, and then they're like, oh, and by the way, you'll die in 47 seconds. And then she just accepts it, like, because she's technically not dead. Her consciousness is in there now, and I guess Basim kind of proved you can come out of there. If the radiation killed Layla in like 2 minutes, imagine how much radiation Basim got down there. But the staff healed it, so she can probably come back. I'm not counting her as totally dead. And it does feel kind of in character, for as much as I know her character, to stay there and analyze this data with the reader, trying to find a way to save the world. Even if, like I said, it did feel like she was writing fanfiction where she was like, well, what if Desmond didn't actually save the world? And have you tried thinking about that, huh? But maybe that's just me not liking retcons where they're suddenly like, oh, you thought that thing was over? But it's not. But anyway, this game as a whole, definitely enjoyed it. And as I've said before, do I feel like it needed to be 100 hours? No. I think they could have made it shorter or more succinct. But that said, it doesn't feel bloated. It doesn't feel like padded and drawn out. Not like Odyssey. It did have those moments where it's like, oh, we found Sigurd. Oh wait, no, actually he's not here anymore. If they had cut those moments out and then, required you to have conquered less of England, like, I guess I don't know the exact flow of how the story went with the bottlenecks, where you would have those moments where it would halt the main story progress and make you conquer more of England to get the rest of the to get the story to continue. But I feel like you could reasonably shorten that and then still have all those territories to conquer, because they're pretty self-contained for the most part. That I I don't think you needed to have it where you needed to conquer almost the entirety of England to get the main story ending. But I don't know. I guess that's me comparing it to like Xenoblade, where that's another 100-hour-long game that, as far as I'm aware, doesn't have moments where it stops you and is like, oh, actually, we're not progressing the story right now because we want you to play more gameplay. We want you to do another loop of doing a whole region. Like, there's always purpose to the places you go in Xenoblade. Whereas, you know, this game is kind of just giving you boxes to check. But, like I said, I think this game was great. So, all of the boxes that I checked, I do not regret checking them. This is definitely, you know, me thinking the game should have been shorter is partially coming from me being like, I would like to play Mirage now. So if I played this on my own, I don't think I would have any complaints with the length. I really don't have complaints with the length at all. It's just like, yeah, that was a long game. But, you know, people like that. I'm glad to see that there are people who, they play, you know, Odyssey and this game for several hundred hours and enjoy it. That's great. You know, if this were your only Assassin's Creed game, there would be no complaints, I'm sure. You know, except for the people who did play this as their first Assassin's Creed game and it didn't click with them and they just didn't like it. That's also fine. I respect the people who have 10 minutes in this game as much as I respect the people who have 300 hours. Like, you know, if you don't want to play this game for 100 hours, that's fine. You can go. There's lots of video games. You don't need to play this one. But I'm glad I played this one. Of these three, I still don't really know what to call this era of Assassin's Creed. The massive open world versions of Assassin's Creed. These three, Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, didn't start with an O for some reason, so I added one. This is definitely the best of these three. I like what Origins tried to do, but I feel like it wasn't quite Assassin's Creed-y enough. And I did not like that you could not assassinate someone guaranteed. Like, you had to level up to be stealthy. Like, that just does not feel right. Especially because stealth is already difficult with, you know, you gotta hide bodies, you gotta make sure when you kill someone that you're not doing it with another person looking at you. And then there's, you know, moving between hiding spots where it's very, very easy to just get caught doing that. And, you know, I've had plenty of problems with that in this game where even just moving from one hiding spot to another, sometimes someone sees me and they instantly know where I am for, like, no reason. I don't know if that was a mechanic they never explained or what. But sometimes just instantly someone knows where you are. It's like, oh, well, so much for being stealthy. I didn't even get a chance to try to react to this guy. So I really don't think these games should be gating off instant kills with stealth. Except how this game did it. I like that this game gave you a skill you could unlock to instantly assassinate even stronger enemies, as long as you passed a little skill check game that got easier the closer in level you were to that enemy. It gave an element of skill to instantly killing someone that even if someone was way above your level, there was still a possibility of you being able to have the skill to instantly kill them. And if you didn't get it, that was on you. And it was, you know, it's something you can get better at, and the game rewards you for getting good at it. That's good game design, if you ask me. What else? Yeah, I like how much of, like, traditional assassin stuff kind of returned in this game. You know, being able to instantly kill most enemies or you know, almost every enemy except for like certain specific encounters once you get the skill. And they brought back, you know, the Basim's outfit is very much like what you would have seen in, well, I say that to me it very invokes the feeling of Assassin's Creed 1. But, you know, it doesn't have that same kind of monk's robe feel to it. So, yeah, now that I think that's like, okay, well, does it really resemble the Assassin's Creed 1 stuff that much? But it resembles it more, and I appreciate that. There's still the hidden ones, but that's fine. You know, they remembered that the Creed exists. You know, I was going to say the Maxim. I don't know if they ever said the Maxim. But that was what I really did not like about Odyssey. Odyssey felt like it really did not want to be an Assassin's Creed game. And it did it so much that it didn't have like any inkling of Assassin's Creed. It didn't have the hidden blade. You weren't a hidden one because it was in an era before Origins. Ask me how that was a good idea. It wasn't. Sorry, that was too mean. I'm sorry, that was over the line. But and you didn't even have to follow the Creed. Because again, you weren't an assassin, you weren't a hidden one. So you could kill as many civilians as you wanted, and it wouldn't desynchronize you. It was a game that just didn't want to be Assassin's Creed in anything other than title. And the Animus. And what really bothered me about it was it didn't sacrifice the series' identity for something interesting. It was just a generic open world game that was vaguely RPG-ish, but you didn't really get to decide much. Like, sure, there were dialogue options, like, oh, do you want to fight this guy? Do you want to pay him off? Do you want to try to persuade him? But that was about it. Cassandra was not my character. And the ultimate example of that was that for the ending, you know, to finish the game and to get the credits to roll, you had to return home to Sparta, which I didn't want to do because my opinion of that, you know, the way I was characterizing that character was that she hated Sparta. Sparta tried to kill her, so screw Sparta. Let's side with Athens. But they didn't let me do that. At the end of the game, they're like, okay, well, time to return home to Sparta. Oh, there's two kings. You gotta appeal to them. Oh, one of them wants you to go win the Olympics. Guess you gotta go win the Olympics. Like, I get that RPGs don't always have the luxury of letting you choose your path in the story. But if this game were really letting you play your character, they wouldn't have had... they wouldn't have had this kind of insinuation through the mechanics, you know, through the mechanic of being able to, you know, go to war and fight for one side or another. They wouldn't have had that without the ability to side on one or the other or neither, because, you know, war profiteering was an option, but not in the story. In the story, you're still allied with Sparta. You still side with Sparta at the end of the day. You know, it's like if Skyrim, and I feel like this is the best example. Skyrim has a civil war. You can side with the Imperials, you can side with the Stormcloaks, and the story does get to a point where you need them to set their issues aside so you can progress. But as far as I remember, you don't have to pick a side in the... Or maybe you do. But at the very least, you can side with the Stormcloaks. The story will not force you to be on the Imperial side. And likewise, you can be part of the Empire and not have to pick the Stormcloaks. So Origins forcing you to do that, forcing you to be with Sparta, is like if you were playing, role-playing through Skyrim as an Imperial, and then suddenly you're like, oh, if you want to finish the game, you gotta be Stormcloak. Sorry, I feel like I spent way too much time ranting about that. But yeah, this game was... Oh, sorry, I missed your message there. It definitely feels like that. But I love this one due to love of Vikings. Yeah, that's perfectly fair. Yeah, I hope that anyone who played this game hoping to have fun as a Viking had fun as a Viking. Because, it doesn't always work out. Sometimes you play Red Dead and you're like, yeah, I'm going to be a cowboy. And then the mechanics tick you off and you just don't want to keep playing. So I hope that a majority, because I know it's not going to be 100%, but I hope a vast majority of people who played this hoping to have fun as a Viking got to have their fun as a Viking, because you really don't get a lot of Viking games, and that is disappointing. Sorry, that's a rant for another day. I was about to be like, oh man, there's too many games that just are chasing one theme or another. I don't even know what the most common theme for video games is. My inclination is to be like, oh, well, fantasy RPG, where you play as some spiky-haired pretty boy and you go kill a god. But that's just that's just my bias against JRPGs and not really getting them. But yeah, this game was great. Even not comparing it to a game I hated, this game was great in, like, every way. I really don't have any complaints with much of anything. I wish that the little, like, not quite side quests, but the side activities, where sometimes you'll be riding your horse through a town or whatever, through a field, and there'll be that little green icon on your map, and it'll be a person who's like, help, I can't find my dog. And then, you help them find their dog, and then you get some experience when you're done. I'm basically just describing a side quest, but this game technically doesn't have side quests. It just has a list of different main quests. It doesn't have side quests like the other games had. Yeah, I wish that those were tracked better. It's ironic, because in Origins and Odyssey, I did not want to do side quests, because in those games, I felt like every side quest was just going to be some old man who wants you to go 200 meters away and find a book, and then run the other 200 meters back and give him the book, and he'll give you 100 gold and a bow. But this game felt like side quests actually gave you something, even when it was only just experience, because, like, you do a couple of side activities, and then boom, you leveled up, you got 2 perks, and then you can put those towards whatever you want. What's the next game you plan on playing? Oh, definitely Mirage. Like, that's gonna be the next stream game, because I've been waiting to get to that. Yeah, I wish side quests were tracked better, especially because there were some of them that I just could not remember what they said they wanted me to do, and I just abandoned them because I had no idea how to figure out what I needed to do. They weren't tracking it at all, so I just had no choice. I'm sure if I, like, went away and waited enough time in game and things reloaded, that it would probably give me the dialogue again, but I just never bothered to go back to any of them. Like, there was that one girl who was, like, I think originally you come up to her and she's protecting a leaf from falling off a tree, because she's like, no, don't let the leaf fall, because when the leaf falls, like, my father said he's gonna be back before the last leaf falls. So if that leaf falls and he's not back, then that's gonna be bad. And then you have to convince her, like, it doesn't matter if the leaf falls off. And then she says something about how he's over in Lincoln, and then I'd never found the guy in Lincoln. So I don't know what the game wanted me to do, and I just never went back to try again. So yeah, if I could change anything about this game, I would have those tracked better. It's like they weren't bad. Like I said, it's ironic. I spent all of like Origins and Odyssey avoiding side quests, and then this game actually had pretty short side quests. You know, you go up, be like, help me find my dog, and then you'd go over, and then you find the dog, and they'd be like, you did it, you helped me find the dog, and then that'd be it. You spent like 5 minutes helping the person find their dog. Honestly, can't wait to see that. Honestly, myself didn't like the controls for it. But just me. But it was just me. Love the storyline, but might need to check back in with it. Yeah, my understanding is that Mirage is a return to form, so I don't know if that means the controls are also a return to form, going back to the quote-unquote puppeteer system, or whatever they called it, where you have, like, you have to hold the trigger and press X to attack. I have never had a problem with that control schemes. Well, okay, technically I can't say never, because come you know, playing through the series, Revelations, they switch around like what buttons things are on. So sometimes I accidentally assassinated random civilians trying to throw money, and that's definitely what you would consider a problem with the controls. Not that the controls were flawed, but me having a problem with, you know, having an issue with the controls, an issue related to the controls. But I've never complained about how the games have controlled. And I don't think any of them. I may have complained about, like, oh, well, I could probably do this better if I had a mouse. But, you know, I should have chose to play on PC in that case. And I'm not normally someone who prefers to have a mouse. But, you know, these three games where you have the bow at all times, and especially this game, shooting people in their weak spots would have been easier if I had a mouse, but that's my problem for playing on Xbox. What else? The setting. Like, I'm not big on Vikings, but this setting was a rich setting. Like, if this were a candy bar, it'd be such a delicious candy bar. Such a rich chocolatey chocolate bar. Because, man, it really did go all in on the setting. And, like, sorry, hit my hand on my desk. I don't know if you heard the clunk. Yeah, thinking about, like, what setting I would have wanted them to put an Assassin's Creed in. Number one has always been Japan, because, you know, ninja. How can you not have an assassin that was also a ninja? I know, historically, ninja weren't assassins. They were information gatherers. They were spies. And killing was only, like, a last resort. But that's kind of the case for assassins as well. They did not take life lightly. So they really do fit together. But we're getting that. So second most wanted setting would have been like a medieval Europe. You know, where you get to see like knights and stuff. You know, that style of fantasy, but, you know, the origins of the setting in real life. You know, the non-fantasy version, the historical version of fantasy. And we kind of got that with this game, which I think is really neat. You know, it's very much marketed as the Viking game. But there is still kind of that inkling of a kind of... I keep wanting to say medieval. I don't know if that's quite the right word. But, you know, that kind of setting, the kind of medieval-like setting with knights and whatnot. It's not fully, but... Because I think most fantasy is based on, like, Renaissance Europe. Probably. It sounds about right. And if we're talking Renaissance, we're talking Assassin's Creed 2. And that's not quite what I mean. But it was a delightful surprise that this game was the Viking game, but you didn't strictly have to be a Viking. Like, you saw my armor. I didn't have the, I don't know if you would call it the Viking outfit, you know, the default Raven Clan armor. I had on the assassin armor, because I wanted to look like a traditional assassin. And that's another thing. That's another way that they brought back traditional Assassin's Creed stuff that they kind of set to the side. And you know, they put it in a shoebox and stuffed it in the closet with Origins. It was, you know, the beaked robe hood with you know, the triangle at the top that's pointing downwards. I got to have that back. I got a proper hidden blade back. And yeah, and like, I didn't have to be I didn't have to be the guy on the box art. I got to be more like a traditional assassin. And sadly, you know, an outfit like Basim's was DLC. Had to get Ubisoft points. Like, who's gonna connect to Ubisoft? No one likes Ubisoft Connect. But it was there. If I wanted to look like Basim, I could have went through the trouble of getting that. And I did have that alternate outfit that was that I never used. But I had that alternate outfit with the tower shield and the brigandine armor. I got about as close to a knight as I could get, and you know, not quite shining armor and whatever other tropes you would associate with a historical knight. But I got to be kind of close to that. You know, I kind of just stuck with the axe and the shield because it just seemed right. You know, I didn't want to lean away from the Viking stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. I wanted to enjoy it while it was here, so I used that what do they call that type of shield? Like the round shield with the, you know, with the one-handed axe. But if I really wanted to, I could have used that two-handed sword the whole game, or a flail. I could have leaned more into the bow, and saying that makes me feel like, oh, well, you could do that in Origins and Odyssey as well. How come you didn't care about it then? I don't know. I feel like it's the fact that by the end of the game, I did have so many perks that I had everything that seemed useful, whether or not it was quote-unquote in my class, you know, me mostly focusing on, you know, trying to do stealth, but then also having the open combat perks for those instances where I did get caught and had to fight everyone at once on top of me. Excuse me, I just burped. But it didn't, like, it did have all the perks split into like 3 categories of like warrior, archer, assassin, basically. But they all came together. They weren't like, I don't even know how to put it, because like, nothing in the other 2 games really stopped you from getting perks from all over different trees. But I don't know, I guess just like the rate at which you got level ups, and the rate at which you got perk points to spend to get perks was not fast enough to feel like spreading out was a good idea. It did feel like they really wanted you to focus on one playstyle, especially Odyssey, with having those, you know, the way armor worked, and it had you, like, you couldn't spread your stats. I mean, you could, but especially stealth damage really needed you to keep investing in that stat to keep it good, to keep it usable. So it really did encourage you. It really was designed in a way to encourage you to stick with only one stat and then have others as, you know, oh well, you know, I can't really change how this boost works, so I'll just leave it. You know, if you find a good helmet that it's like, oh look, it boosts warrior damage, I use warrior damage, and then it also just happens to have bow damage on it and you can't change it. That's what I feel about that armor system. You really, if you want warrior damage, you really have to focus on warrior damage, or else it's not going to be something you can lean on. Whereas with this game, I almost want to say that the stats didn't matter. I feel like they probably would have mattered if I turned the difficulty up. But, you know, the game's long enough where I didn't want to drag it out by me failing at the combat. I think if I were to play this game again, it's 100 hours, so I don't know that I'd ever do that. But if I ever did, I probably would play on a higher difficulty because the combat system is satisfying. It is, and that is something I very much appreciated as a, you know, coming straight off of the other two games where if someone was higher level than you, you should be afraid of them. Whereas I went out of my way to experiment with how much this game would let you get away with in terms of that. I went to an area that said it was dangerous, that had the skull icon on the enemies. And it was dangerous. I did die quite a few times doing the story there, but it was doable. It was not like playing Dark Souls without any armor, where it's like, oh, you know for sure if you take 2 hits, you're dead, no matter what. Like, it was doable. I could take a few hits and then heal, and then just you know, if I die, just do better. It wasn't so overwhelmingly difficult where I felt like, oh well, you know, I need stats. Maybe that would be different if I played on a higher difficulty, but it is a combat system that is very much skill-oriented and strategy-oriented a little bit with how the stamina worked. Whereas the other games kind of were just like, you know, you dodge and then you wail on the enemy, and then you dodge again and you wail on the enemy. I guess this game was kind of like that because I think it did restore your stamina if you got the successful slow-mo dodge. But at the very least, like, it felt balanced in the give and take of battle. Because the other games, like, you could be wailing on someone and then with, like, no warning, they would start wailing on you and then you would start losing health. And it just didn't feel balanced. It just felt like the burden was on the player to decide how many hits was too many hits and when was to back off, which, I guess saying that out loud, that sounds weird, but like most games would give you audio-visual feedback on, hey, this enemy's not going to just sit here and take all this damage you're dishing. They're going to fight back. And this game has that audio-visual feedback where if you're wailing on someone and then they decide, hey, enough is enough, they'll do that flash. They'll pull out their red rune attack or whatever. Their, what did they call it? I want to say precarious attack. That's not quite right. Perilous attack. I think that's what they called it. And even that had that, you could get that skill where if you dodge that at the right moment, you could deal damage to them and cancel their perilous attack. Whereas with the other games, and again, I don't mean to keep dogpiling on it, but with Origins and especially Odyssey, you really had to pay attention to what, you know, Odyssey wanted you to pay attention to what race they were. So, you know, whether they were Athenian or Spartan, and I think they even counted like mercenaries as like their own type. And then you also had to pay attention to what weapon they had to basically determine like how many hits you could get in before they're gonna smack you right in the face right back. And that was really annoying. Like, especially with how much health the enemies could have. that you basically, like, every fight was just like 1, 2, dodge. Okay, here's another window, 1, 2, dodge. And that's fine for like a boss fight or something, but when it's every single enemy and then, you know, you do a bandit hideout and every single enemy is on top of you and you're fighting them all at once, and you have to fight every single one of them like 1, 2, dodge, 1, 2, dodge. It's just so monotonous. But this game really, I'm not even sure I could quantify it, but it really figured out how to fix that and make the combat fun. And I really appreciate that. Ubisoft Development Team Philippines. I read that in the wrong order, but whatever. Wonder how much through the I was gonna say subtitles. Through the credits. I wonder how through the credits we are. Development Team Ubisoft Bordeaux. Where is that? Is that like France? Oh, and this game was also fantastic visually. I'm sure I had plenty of moments where it's just like, man, this game's so pretty. Woo! Just look at that sunset. Whoa! Look at the light coming through the trees. And Origins and Odyssey both have really great visuals as well. Like, I'm pretty impressed with what the Xbox was able to pull off there. Especially coming off of Syndicate, where I played that on PlayStation, and it did not look as good as it could have. I have the PC version, you know, I got the PC version after I finished that, and yeah, the PC version looks way better. So going from that to Origins, and it's like, wow, this is so much better than Syndicate looked. And then going into Odyssey, still on Xbox, it looks fantastic too. And then this game also was fantastic, and because it's a setting that is more in line with what I like to. I was gonna say what I like to imagine. I feel like that's not specific enough, but you know, if I were to choose where to live, it would be somewhere that looks like England looks in this game, with the wide open fields and all the trees and, you know, some forests, but not like completely dense with forestedness. And it's unfortunate because I did look at where Ravensthorpe is in real life on Google Maps, and it does not look nearly as pretty. I don't know if that the picture on Google Maps was just like taken at a bad time in the season, where, you know, it's like, oh well, it's actually taken at fall, so everything was already dead. But did not look nearly as good as this game, so I don't think I'll be moving to England anytime soon. But, you know, I'm an American, so I don't think they would want me in England. I think they'd want me to go home. Anyway, that's probably not a good train of thought to get on. And Norway was really pretty in this game too, obviously. I mean, that's this screen right there. I still find it really amusing that the same time, around the same time I started playing this, and it was like, oh hey, Northern Lights. At that same time, the Northern Lights, like there was an event where the Northern Lights were visible from where I live. I didn't actually see anything. I think there was too much light pollution, or no, it was too cloudy at the time. because it was raining. It was a rainy weekend, so I didn't actually get to see him with my own actual eyes instead of in the video game. But still a fun coincidence that happened. Japanese age rating coordinator. What a specific thing. Trying to think if there's anything else to say. Yeah, another great coincidence was, you know, getting that that cutscene where Basim goes over his backstory, and I'm like, man, I really want a DLC where I can play as him. And then I go and find out, no, they didn't make a DLC. They made a whole game. So that's another reason to be excited about moving on to Mirage. I get to see Basim's story, and apparently it's probably gonna fill us in on why he decided to attack us. I really hope that's not just me forgetting something that happened 80 hours of gameplay ago. That I actually did kill his son, and I just forgot. I'm pretty sure I did not kill any children in this game. I'm pretty sure. I think I would remember. Wait a minute, it just said for the Philippines again. Are the credits looping? Unless they're going over, like, people who worked on the DLCs. Still trying to figure out if the credits are looping. Trying to pay attention to see if I see any studio names again. See if we could see development team Ubisoft Bordeaux again. I do see that there is a speed up option, but I would like to not speed it up because it feels like it would defeat the point of rolling the credits. That always is the kind of questionable thing in video game credits. Like, is it against the rules for a game to allow you to skip the credits? Because, like, I don't know why they do credits in things. I have an idea, but I don't know the history of it. Like, you know, the obvious assumption is, well, you know, people gotta get credit for the work they did. and then they, you know, they can point to it on a resume, be like, hey, look, there's my name in the credits. You can see I worked on Assassin's Creed, so you know I do good work, and you can hire me. But, like, is it like legally required that media has credits in it? Is it illegal to allow a person to skip the credits? You know, like, I feel like on TV, it shouldn't be allowed for the station to not play the credits. But, like, no one plays the credits anymore. Or if they do, it's always often, like, a side panel while something else plays. And it's, like, zoomed out and sped up, and you can't really read it. Which also feels like it defeats the point of having the credits roll. And it's especially frustrating when it's like, you know, modern day TV station playing like an older show where they actually, where they had end credits gags, or like a scene is playing during the credits, but you don't get to see the scene because they're doing the thing where they play it off in the corner and you know, basically skip the credits and place commercials over top of them. But I guess there's always, like, I would say DVD, you know, getting a thing, you know, getting a TV show, watching it on DVD, and then you get to see the episode credits. But for one, no one watches TV shows on DVDs anymore. And two, I don't think I've ever watched a TV show on a DVD before. Like, you know, like a box set where it's like all of season 1 on one DVD. Never done that. So I don't know if they still have the credits on there, or do you have to press like a different button to see it, or, you know, does it go right to the next episode when you're, you know, when the episode actually ends? I would imagine if they had, you know, if it's a case where the show has like some kind of gag in the end credits, or after the end credits, because some shows did that as well, that they would still show that. You know, it's your DVD. You get to present the content as you want to show it. But I'm kind of doubting that idea now. But, you know, the modern thing would be to stream a series. I do a lot of that. You know, especially shows I've never seen before. Because it's a good way to find new stuff to like. I feel like I didn't even have to explain the concept of streaming. Like, you know what it is. You get it. You know why it's good. But back on the topic of credits, very easy to skip the credits. In fact, I think most streaming services will automatically skip the credits after like 5 or 10 seconds, unless you hit a button to tell it to not. Which is a bit of a shame, because again, some shows have things going on during or after the credits, and streaming services don't, or at least they don't always account for that. I remember when I watched through Delocated, I forget what service I was watching that on, but whatever platform I was watching on would skip like entire chunks of an episode because it thought the credits were playing. And I didn't realize that until I'm on, like, Season 2, and it's like, wait, who is that guy? When did that happen? What? You know, it's doing the recap, and it's, like, showing stuff that I never saw. It's like, what? Is that a gag? Are they parodying the concept of previously on this show by showing stuff that never happened in an episode? But no, I went back, and I saw that the streaming service was skipping like half of the episode. I think what happened was, I think originally Delocated was like a 15-minute show, which is it's weird to me that they did that Adult Swim would ever do that with shows, but they did that. And I think when Delocated got Season 2, they switched to half-hour episodes, but the streaming service did not account for that. So whenever we get to like the 14, 15-minute mark, whenever the credits would usually roll in season 1, they would just skip to the next episode, and I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention, and it would skip, and I would miss important stuff. Delocated is a show with continuity, so you do need to see a whole episode to understand what's happening in the other episodes. I mean, not like the overall plot, like it's pretty straightforward, but there are events that they do call back to. Be like, hey, remember that guy? Like, no, the streaming service skipped. And then there's, for whatever reason, I mean, I think I know the reason. It's because Paramount Plus sucks, but so I've been wanting to watch, like, I like to watch sitcoms, especially old sitcoms and like iconic sitcoms. Like I've watched all of like Family Matters and like I definitely have not watched all of the iconic ones. I haven't seen Happy Days, but I have seen Family Matters and Cheers. I hated Cheers. Let's not talk about Cheers. Cheers does not hold up to modern scrutiny. I want to watch The Brady Bunch. That's a very iconic sitcom. That's something I think I will at least tolerate, if not enjoy, at the very least tolerate. I don't think I'll hate it. Paramount Plus has it. I think it's like the only streaming service I'm subscribed to that has it. For whatever reason, it does not autoplay episodes. It's not like Paramount Plus does not have an autoplay feature. It has it. It for sure has it. I've watched plenty of shows on Paramount Plus that autoplay the next episode. But for whatever reason, The Brady Bunch does not autoplay. And there is like no way to fix it, and that's insanely stupid. How are you going to have one of the most iconic sitcoms of all time on your platform and you're not going to make sure that autoplay works? Like I don't know if Paramount Plus is aware of this, but generally when people stream a show, they like to watch episodes back to back, like, watch a bunch of episodes at once. Some people call this binging. I don't like to call it that because that, I don't like that word. It's evocative of a very serious problem some people have. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, you never use the word binge, but I don't like that. I don't like to use that word to describe watching a bunch of TV shows. Marathoning is the word I would use. Or just generally leaving it on in the background. I don't know if they're aware of that, but most people watch streaming. They watch streaming services like that. That is a very important feature to have working. I don't know why they don't have that working. Also, what's really annoying about... Actually, I think all streaming services I watch have this problem where when it... Sorry, I'm on like the cusp of burping. Excuse me. There it is. For some reason, and this is probably a problem I could fix if I just use their proprietary apps, but I like to watch in a browser window. When it plays the next episode, it'll exit out of full screen, and that's very annoying. I have found that there is I forget how to do it, but like if you, instead of clicking the zoom in button, you could press like F11 or something, and it'll full screen it and keep it full screened because you full screen the browser window rather than the video player. That works on like Disney Plus, but that doesn't work on Paramount Plus. I mean, it does, but you'll have your scroll bar on the side the whole time, and that's just not acceptable. Paramount Plus is lame. Whoop. I have not been nudging the controller enough to keep it awake. Dusseldorf team. And what a place name. Malmo. These are the Ubisoft Connect credits, so I like to believe that it's almost complete. Sounds like the... Nope, never mind. I guess it's looping. I was going to say the music sounds like it finished. Just going to get a little more comfortable in my chair. What's another thing to rant about? Well, we've just passed the 3-hour mark. It is 10:30 p.m. for me right now. I don't know that I really feel like watching the rest of this. I don't want to hit fast forward because I know it's going to go too fast to read, and I want this to be readable. Oh, that was weird. I tilted my head to the side and it made me want to cough. I wonder if that's like indicative of a problem in my airways or something. So now I've talked about Blade and Sorcery getting updated to its full version. It's finally 1.0 now. It's official release, and I've been really enjoying it and really enjoying the temple that they added. That it's an aesthetic that I really enjoy, as more of like a nostalgic feeling aesthetic. Not as like a thing I would say like, yeah, that's definitely my favorite. It's, you know, one of those like cities made of like entirely made of stone. You know, kind of like the Dwemer ruins and like Elder Scrolls. Or like, it really reminds me of like Naboo in like the Star Wars prequels. I know Naboo is probably in other Star Wars stuff, but it reminds me of the prequels. In a good way, in a nostalgic way, because that's the Star Wars I grew up with. I know they're not considered good movies, but I like them. And it, you know, being reminded of those movies, it's like, it reminds me of that era of when they came out, and when that, I feel like that aesthetic was really prevalent in like the early 2000s, with like, you know, the city's made of stone, and it's like in like a dry canyon. And, but there's still waterfalls. I guess this dry canyon would not be an accurate way to describe it. With like, you know, covered in like mysterious markings and stuff. You know, not being completely like smooth stone. There's always the markings, or like other things that use that aesthetic would be like the Chozo ruins in Metroid Prime. I was gonna specify 1. No, I feel like there's some stuff in like, I don't know about 2, but definitely 3. I remember some stuff kind of having those similar tones in Prime 3. But yeah, like Chozo ruins and like Bionicle, the original Bionicle. Maybe less so as the series went on. Especially when they started to go when it became the underwater people, that's definitely where the aesthetic ended. If it hadn't ended before then. And then, you know, then they had the sky people, and then it became Hero Factory, and yes, the theme had been long dead by then, or the aesthetic. But yeah, I really like that. And I really like that the temples in Blade and Sorcery have that aesthetic, because it's so cool to experience that in VR. To really get a sense, like, I feel like part of the aesthetic is like the size of it. Like having these massive doorways and giant statues. Being able to have, you know, see it in VR and really get the sense of scale is really something. And I know people say, like, VR is a fading fad by now. And part of me says, good. I don't want the metaverse to become the new norm. I'm sure most people don't. I don't want everything to become VR. But I want VR to coexist. And if... I think people were even saying, like, PCs are starting to no longer support certain VR things. That scares me. I hate that idea. I don't want VR to stop working. I want to still be able to connect my PC or connect my headset to my PC and play games on it in VR. You know, games specifically made for it. I'm not going to sit here and be like, every game needs to be VR. I'm not a dumb corporate executive who thinks chasing the current trend is going to make me billions. But I like those experiences that are specifically made for it. I love Job Simulator. That is a game that maybe could work without VR, but probably wouldn't be as fun if you weren't in VR. And I actually saw recently they added a hand tracking update, so now you don't even have to use the controllers. You can use your actual hands to grab things. It will not feel like real life because you will be grabbing nothing, but it's better than holding a trigger, I guess. Probably. You don't get the buttons, but Job Simulator didn't use the buttons anyway, I don't think. And Blade and Sorcery is definitely one of those games that it's made specifically for VR, and it's the kind of experience that I think should exist for VR. It's the kind of thing we should keep VR around to preserve. If I can no longer play Blade and Sorcery, I will be very sad. Because Blade and Sorcery is awesome. You know, my preferred experience for any video game, really, would be to play it with a controller, be playing it on a console. I don't need to be immersed in every single experience I enjoy. I don't need Tetris in VR. And like I said when the credits first started, or technically when I first started the credits, when the credits started playing, I said, like, yeah, I really enjoyed this game. And I mean that. I don't need it to be in VR to enjoy it. But Blade and Sorcery is awesome because it's also an action RPG, but in first person. You know, first person, you get to be the person that you're playing as. When you swing your sword, you're actually swinging your arm. It's having at least one experience like that where you get to feel like you actually are a magical swordsman. I think that needs to exist, and I think it needs to be preserved. Especially if you turn on cheats and you get to fly everywhere with gravity, with the gravity spell. It does feel kind of silly because you have to throw the spell downwards to launch yourself up, and to fly, you have to keep doing that. So you're basically flapping your arms like a chicken, or, you know, any kind of, you know, like you're pretending to be a bird to fly with the gravity spell. But when you're floating around and you're zipping and you're really moving, you're just flying through stuff. It's like a dream. Like, it's literally like a dream. And not being able to play that would really suck. Especially now that it's 1.0 and they've added so many other cool skills and abilities and effects that your spells can do. And the temple that I'm really fond of looking at in VR. So I hope VR at least continues to work. I hope it does not go the way of Flash, where eventually they're just like, oh, we don't feel like fixing it, so we're just gonna stop supporting it. It's an inferior product anyway. Yeah, I really think VR should be one of those things, like, you know, like when we had, well, I guess those have kind of gone away too, but like dedicated handheld game consoles. They were not as good as what you could get on a home console, technically speaking. Like, would you rather play a PlayStation Vita game, or would you rather play a PlayStation 4 game? I know the current generation is 5, bear with me. Obviously, what you're going to get on the 4 is going to be way... I feel like I'm setting myself up for the argument of like, well, you know, there are some really good experiences on the Vita. Yeah, I know. But my point is, like, you could take that same experience and put it on the PS4 and have better hardware for it. But, you know, having it portable is pretty novel. Of course, I feel like handheld consoles are kind of dead now because phones. But, you know, you got the Switch, you got the Steam Deck. They're still around. They're still kind of relevant. I feel like VR should be like that as well. You get those experiences where it's like, well, wouldn't it just be better if I were playing this on the PS5 instead of in a headset with controllers that don't even have all the buttons on them? Sorry, I was thinking about it, was like, wait, do they not have all the buttons? They do have 2 thumbsticks and 4 face buttons. Not quite a start and pause, because they do have 1 button dedicated to the home button instead of being minus. But, yeah, it's missing an extra menu button, and it's missing a D-pad, but it's got almost all the buttons. But yeah, anyway, the point is, like, yeah, would you rather play it in VR or would you rather play it on the PS5? Chances are you're probably going to say play it on the PS5. It's not like you can't be immersed in a game with it playing on a regular TV. I've been plenty immersed in, like, Skyrim. So, you know, not everything needs to be on a VR. Or on a VR headset, but having those specific dedicated experiences for the VR, I think, is worth it. Is worth having it still be around. Just like having, you know, games on your phone that are specifically suited to a touch screen and gyro controls and being something that you can play for 5 minutes and then, like, oh, the bus is here, and then you put your phone in sleep and you throw it in your pocket. That's necessary too, I feel like. And that's probably something more people would agree with me on than VR, but point remains. I think it's easy to discredit an experience that you maybe don't value as much as another experience because it's technically superior, but you know, video games are art, and Sure, there are pieces you can look at and go, wow, that is, you know, you look at a Bob Ross painting and it's like, wow, that is a very beautiful view of a mountain and the ocean, and look at those clouds and the happy trees. It's great. It's fantastic. It's freaking art. It's awesome. I don't know why I said freaking art. It makes it sound like I don't like it, but I do. Bob Ross was an amazing painter. I want to paint like him too, except I don't have the supplies. And that's a lot of money to spend trying to get good at a hobby when I've already got so many other expensive hobbies. But but you look at that, and then you look at, like, I don't know, just like some random person on DeviantArt, and like, you know, they're clearly not as good as Bob Ross, but their art is still valid, you know? Because that's what art is. It's, you know, you create what you want to create, and it's valid. As long as it's not, like, offensive. But yeah, like, the video game experiences are kind of like that, too. You know, maybe, oh, we're getting to legal notices. I think we're at the end of the credits. Yeah, like, you look at a VR game, and it's like, well, that's clearly not as good as something I could play on a PS5. But they're both relevant. They both matter. They're both valid. They're both valid experiences, valid ways to spend your time. As long as you enjoy it, that's the key part. Just like art. As long as you enjoy making it, it doesn't matter what your result is. I gotta remember that more myself and do more bad drawings so I can get good and do good drawings. I forget what the last thing I drew was. I forget if I was satisfied with how it came out. I think the last thing I drew was my shape-shifting character that I've talked about at least a couple times while playing this game. Wow, that is straight up just like a terms of conditions being thrown in my face right now. This I feel like I could safely fast forward, but I don't know if there's going to be anything after it, so I don't want to fast forward quite yet. I'll give it a few more minutes. Let me actually open up my drawings folder and see what the last thing I drew really was. Nope. Okay. Yeah, that's right. I forgot. I drew the. I feel strange admitting this, but the last thing I drew was Mitzi Mozzarella. You know, the animatronic mouse that they had before Chuck E. Cheese was Chuck E. Cheese. When it was Rockafire Explosion, or no, when it was what did they call it? What, the band was Rockafire Explosion, but what was the establishment? I can't remember what it was called. I know the one with the stream ends I'm gonna remember because it's not a complex name. But yeah, basically the Chuck E. Cheese style animatronics from before Chuck E. Cheese. I think before. I think Rockafire Explosion existed first. But then actually, see, I wanted to say that Chuck E. Cheese came second and then they bought out the Rockafire Explosion people. I think it's actually the other way around. I don't know if Chuck E. Cheese came first, but they were the ones that got bought out. But weirdly enough, it was their intellectual property that they continued to use. So that's why we know them now as Chuck E. Cheese. It's because they decided to go with that branding. Maybe they weren't bought out and they just merged. But either way, they went with the Chuck E. Cheese branding, and that disappoints me because I like Rockafire Explosion better. The era I grew up in, I don't think Rockafire Explosion was still around. I think everything was Chuck E. Cheese by then. So I never got to actually experience those animatronics. And I don't know that I've ever actually seen a Chuck E. Cheese show anyway. I have no memories of actually watching the animatronics. maybe some vague inklings. Like some of the stuff I've seen videos of does seem a little familiar, but I don't remember actually watching the show and having feelings about the show. I mostly remember the ball pit and the climbing tunnels. But yeah, I was a Chuck E. Cheese kid. But as an adult and looking at the stuff, I think I liked Rocket Fire Explosion stuff better. Especially Mitzi Mozzarella. I like her better than Helen Henny or whatever they replaced her with when concept unification happened. I don't know. I think I'm definitely weird that I can look at I look at the animatronics and I think, man, it's a shame that those don't exist anymore. It's a shame that they basically threw them away because they look like people, and that makes me feel like they have I know they don't, but it makes me feel like they have feelings and that they shouldn't just be thrown in the garbage. But okay, credits are over now, but I'm gonna finish this train of thought. What's even sadder, I think, is that not only was the Rocket Fire Explosion replaced with the Chuck E. Cheese stuff, but then Chuck E. Cheese got rid of their animatronics, and their employees had specific orders to destroy the animatronics, not just throw them out. They were to be destroyed, which sucks. And again, it's like that, whatever you call it, where pretending the animatronics have feelings even though I know they don't. It's sad that they were destroyed. And I think there's at least 2 working sets still around. I know there's that collector guy who's got a whole working set, which is awesome, and I would like to go see his band at some point. I probably won't be able to ever make it out there, but bucket list. But it's still sad that most of the animatronics were destroyed, and specifically, the higher-ups specifically ordered for them to be not just taken apart and thrown out, but destroyed. Because they didn't want people selling this stuff on the internet. Guess what happened anyway? But the stuff that didn't get sold on the internet anyway is destroyed, and that's sad. So not only did Mitzi Mozzarella get replaced, but then also her replacement was destroyed. So in a way, it's like she was destroyed too. And that's why I drew her, and that's why she was my last drawing. And I wasn't quite satisfied with how the drawing came out. Not as satisfied as I was with the drawing before that, which was the shapeshifter, but it happens. You don't always draw good stuff. It's called practice. Sometimes you gotta break some eggs to make an omelet or whatever, you know. Sometimes you suck, but then you gotta keep sucking until you succeed, and then that means you're good. Anyway, I'm trying to end this on saying an actual saying that actually applies, and I can't think of one. I'm just gonna see. Thanks for watching. See you Friday when we start Mirage. Bye. I almost hit the wrong end button. I can hit this one now.